Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today Diana Nedwick. Diana and her husband Mike started attending Faith Baptist in January of 2019 and became members in September of 2019. Diana has been on the senior committee since September 2020, and both Diana and Mike have been the CBC volunteers since May of 2020. They've been married for 45 years. They've lived in Georgetown for 28 and have 3 grown children and 1 granddaughter. I'm going to invite Diana to come and share a little bit of her faith story with you at this time.
Good morning. I am very honored to have been asked to be a deacon and very humbled that in the 2 years that you have known me as a member of this congregation, you have seen qualities in me that I hadn't considered in myself. I grew up in Midway and attended Midway Baptist Church. I accepted Christ as my Savior one summer during Bible school. Many of you knew Sybil Baker. She influenced me as a Sunday school teacher, Bible school, and GA leader. Every summer, I would look forward to attending GA camp at Cedar Moore in Baghdad, Kentucky, and it was this time in my life that a foundation was laid for my faith, a faith and a belief that a loving God will see me through whatever life hands me. In my adult life, I have had to face and deal with some difficult situations. Through these events, God has taught me to be patient and trust His timing. Life is precious, and don't ever take a single breath or the people that are in your life for granted. God has also showed me that sometimes He does not change your circumstances, He changes you. God has also brought many blessings into my life and my family's. One of them is our granddaughter. We prayed and waited many years while God made a way for her to come into our life. And every time I hear, "I love you, Nana," I silently thank God. During this time of COVID, being able to connect with a Sunday school class through Zoom or Facebook worship services, it has reinforced in me how important it is to have a faith family during challenging times. And the last few years, I have tried to be more mindful and aware of God guiding me, opening doors and opportunities for me to grow my faith. So I look forward to serving this faith family that has been nothing but welcoming, loving, encouraging, and supportive. So thank you for this opportunity.
It is also my pleasure to introduce you to Elizabeth Robinson. She was born and reared in Alabama. Upon graduation from Auburn University, she moved to Dayton, Tennessee, where she worked for the Tennessee Extension Service. She met her husband Bill at church. He was the Sunday school teacher for the college and careers class. They married in 1976 and moved to Richmond, Kentucky in 1978, where they remained for 39 years. They have 2 grown daughters, Emily and Paige. The Robinsons moved to Georgetown in 2017 to become full-time grandparents to 2 grandsons, Owen, 5, and Luke, 2. They have always been involved in church. They found Faith Baptist to be a very accepting and loving church and want to serve the congregation in a greater capacity. Please welcome Elizabeth Robinson.
Well, like Diana said, I was very honored when I got a call to serve the church in this capacity. But when Mike Collins gave me a call, I thought, this has got to be a mistake, because my former life, all I have been associated with is a Southern Baptist Convention. So this was quite different. Growing up, I have always been in church. I had Christian parents who were very involved, and we were always there. In fact, I was born between training union and church. Now, my mother was not at the church, but this was big news because I can't take all the credit. I was a twin, and nobody had any idea that there were going to be 2 children born to my parents. So anyway, they made the announcement at church that night. Like I said, we've always been involved in church. My parents figured out that the more involved you were, the less trouble you could get into. And being a twin, we got into trouble. So we were in everything. I was in GAs, I was in choir, handbell choir, you name it. We were there every time the door opened. In college, every bit of spare time that I had, I was at the BSU. And this gave me many fond memories and just solidified my faith. We also took a lot of choir tours when I was with that group, and I even got to sing in Mammoth Cave with the BSU choir. Every time we've moved, the first thing that we always did was to go join a church. And so upon moving to Kentucky, that was the first thing we did too. And we were there for many, many years in Richmond, but then we felt the call to come to Georgetown when we became grandparents, because we didn't want anybody else to take care of our grandchildren besides us, and you just don't know these days. Upon moving to Georgetown, we found faith, and to us, your congregation is so caring, and we wanted to be part of that. And so that is why I want to be an instrument in this church to care for others.